always on topics. So I'm doing another update video on the Karmelo Anthony case. So I remember the last video I did on Austin and Hunter's father, Jeff Metcalf. Now, he pretty much had us full on this interview. Now, I'm not taking anything away from him, him saying, don't make this about race, don't put politics. I saw some comments that I don't like about, what I'm saying, that was kudos I was giving to him on that. But I feel like that was a front. But at least it's smart enough to know that it wasn't about race. But that doesn't change the type of person he is, because I already did a last video about him being, charged with SA in the past, and possibly the reason why Austin and Hunter are messed up the way they are. They come from a broken home. The mother of them, she's messed up. I wouldn't be surprised if she's, against, the black race. She already showed how she felt. She was already did the interview. She was upset. She, of course, she didn't, give the full story. She just went and said, "Oh, you killed my son over a seat," and not knowing all the whole details. And yeah, so her, Hunter, brushed them aside. They full of it. The dad is also full of it because he asked us on another interview who raised their kid. What kind of parents does he have? Let me roll that clip.
I'm not trying to judge, but what kind of parents did this child have? What was he taught? He brought a knife to a track meet, and he murdered my son by stabbing him in the heart. The guy was in the wrong place. They asked him to move, and he bowed up. This is murder.
Okay, so you saw that clip, and the nerve of Jeff Metcalf saying what he said when your ex-wife filed for custody for Austin and Hunter to be with her because of your sickening past. Because it's been brought out that Austin and Hunter has been living in a broken home, not having the parents together now because what Jeff did. And the stuff that what Jeff did is probably the reason why Hunter and Austin did what they did. And unfortunately, it just led to Austin's demise. And I said in my last video, leave people alone. We got to have this little crazy discussion about who was wrong and who's who. And of course, you got these crazy comments on X, these idiotic content creators talking about, oh, why he bring a knife, why he didn't fight. I don't think Karmelo will be able to knuckle up against two guys who were way bigger than him. The combination of 450-some pounds that probably been in a ton of fights while he was just focusing on trying to graduate from high school, go to sport, go to college on athletic and academic scholarships. Hunter and Austin most likely would have went to college on football scholarships. And if they do have a GPA of a 4.0 now, that's good too. But white folks always like to make up stuff. Well, now the mayonnaise folks like to make up stuff about them having all this high GPA, this high IQ. I don't know. I just look at Austin and Hunter going to college on a football scholarship and that only. And what they did to Karmelo shows right there. So, for this man to ask the media who raised Karmelo, knowing that you, sir, ain't even in Austin or Hunter's lives like that because of that little sick case you got, is very hypocritical of you. Like, the nerve of you. So, the best thing you would have did was not talk again. Now, however, Karmelo Anthony, in this updated case, Karmelo Anthony has finally been released on bond. It wasn't $1 million bond because this judge, who's a Republican and conservative, she's a black woman, but she followed protocol. She did what a judge should do. is, give both sides a chance to, reveal what happened. So she's basically giving Karmelo an opportunity to tell his side of the story. You know what I'm saying? Whenever his court date arrives for trial, you know, she wants to hear like what made him do it. Why did he stabbed Austin? What put him in that situation to do so. Um, Although, so she reduced the $1 million bond to $250,000 bond, and the Mayo community is enraged. They sent her death threats. So they sent Carmelo Anthony and his family death threats. Not only did they sent them death threats, but they sent the judge death threats. Angela Taylor is her name. She's been having death threats sent towards her, and it got crazy to the point that they found her address, and her address was put all over Twitter, X. Now that's not a good thing, because Elon Musk, when he owned it, turned it to X, all the racists came out, and all the racists saw Angela's address, and they were going to most likely do what they promised to, prior to their threats. So Judge Angela Taylor decided to beef up security, make sure that security was beefed up as military in case they, do what they said they was going to do on social media. Now, I get that they can be keyboard warriors, but you can't always take, the fact that they're just keyboard warriors. Some people are really about that. They're crazy like that. They get mad at us black people for raising Carmelo Anthony's bond, to get him out, raising these $400,000 and all there to get Carmelo's bond. We're getting attacked for doing that. The Mayo community is attacking us for doing that. Like, they call us, look at y'all support criminals and all that. That's the type of people we are. That's the type of people y'all are. Y'all just like that. Y'all criminal behavior, y'all support criminals and all. Even though they raised money for George Zimmerman, even though they raised money for, Daniel Penny, Kyle Rittenhouse for killing their victims, they even raised money for Dylan Ruth, who killed 9 innocent black people in a church. And y'all raised money for all the people who killed the black people. And claimed, George Zimmerman was defending himself against Trayvon Martin, who was beating him up for following Trayvon in the first place. Daniel Penny, who ain't really been attacked at all, goes up behind, chokes out Jordan Neely, and Jordan Neely didn't touch nobody. Kyle Rittenhouse, he was about to shoot some protesters until some people jumped in to stop him. Kyle Rittenhouse kills them, and he's off for that. It's like, and Dylan Ruth, he just came in and just shot 9 black people who didn't do a darn thing to him, but y'all still raised money for him. But when it comes to a black person trying to raise money for another black person for defending himself against 2 white big boys that could have smothered him to death with their weight, oh, now y'all outraged. Y'all want to do something bad to us. But let me tell you something. We're not going to sit there and just take any abuse y'all give to us. You know what I'm saying? If we got the ability to defend ourselves, we're going to do that. We don't care how mad y'all getting. Y'all sending all these death threats. Y'all guys are hypocrites. Y'all guys are double standard sons of B words. Y'all the most real racists who always, those pots calling the kettle black. So just go ahead and just call it what it is. Y'all just racist, and y'all entitled, and y'all want everything to go y'all way. That's all what it is. And that's what goes down to it. And it's sickening, and I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? Just leave people alone. Raise your kids to keep their hands to themselves. I don't care, what you saw didn't seem right. You know what I'm saying? If you see a black person walk down the street and he's minding his own business, if you don't see him going to no house, if you don't see him even looking at a house to break into, don't mess with him. Don't make something out of nothing. If it ain't nothing, leave it nothing. Leave it at that. Simple. If Austin, just saw Karmelo on his phone in the tent, but he ain't doing nothing else, he should have left it at that. He should have left him alone. He shouldn't have never caused all this. If he was talking to a friend, you know what I'm saying? Because the reports came out that he was talking to a friend that goes to Memorial, so that they know each other. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. If that was the case, Austin and Hunter should never win that tent to look for a fight, because Karmelo didn't owe them a fight because they never beefed until they saw each other. So what do you need to fight him for? And what do you need to fight two big people for that's going to eventually pounce on him? 2-on-1, two at a time. One he'll hold him while the other pounds his face in. What you going to say if that happened? So yes, the knife was necessary to shoo him away. Probably didn't mean to, probably wasn't going for the death stab, but gotta do what he can to poke him away, keep him away. So stop the nonsense and go on about your business. Keep it peaceful, keep it safe. Do right. Leave people alone. Don't touch nobody. Keep your hands to yourself. Simple as that. This is JG, always on topics. I'm out.